What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review and an unboxing of a movie that just came out on Synapse, The Convent, on 4K. Super excited to talk about it. I got to watch it a couple of times because I like this movie a whole lot. One of those movies that has been needing an upgrade for a while because it's only been on DVD, and finally Synapse put it out. So thanks to Resolution 67 for picking this one up for me. I almost thought I wasn't going to get it. I jumped the opportunity to talk about this, and I think you guys should know about it. So we're going to do my spoiler-free review of what the movie's about, and then we're going to talk about some of the ingredients inside and let you know all about it. So yes, The Convent came out in 2000. It was an independent film that came straight to video, and it was by Mike Mendez. Mike Mendez has done other films since then, and he actually started with a movie called Killers, which I've never seen. This was my first foray into the Mendez mythos, I guess. But he also directed other movies like Big Ass Spider. He did Don't Kill It with Dolph Lundgren. And he also did a recent short in the Satanic Hispanics, which is like an anthology. Now, this is from writer Shayton Anderson. I believe I'm saying the name properly. This is their first writing credit. She was actually working on a new film here recently that's called The Devil's Convent? Sounds similar. It's in pre-production, and Kelly Mantle, who played Dickie Boy in The Convent, is going to be in this movie as Sister Mary Kelly. What is this movie all about? Well, it's essentially about a group of college students who break into an old abandoned convent that became shut down because of some really tragic things that happened to the nuns and the priests and stuff that were there. And the reopening of the convent is a license to let a bunch of demons go haywire and kill a bunch of students and people and reset hell out on Earth. Now, for me, this movie reminds me, it's almost like a love letter to Night of the Demons. Like different pieces of all three, literally. They're going to some old abandoned house. They're having a party. They're doing their stupid thing. And of course, they unleash demons upon the world and this one specific location. This one's a little bit more on the comedic side. Like, it's not trying to be as serious. Not that, Night of the Demons was, but I think that was a much more serious movie with some comedy in there. This is more of a comedy horror movie. We get stars like Bill Moseley, who never gets talked about in this film. We get Adrienne Barbeau, who's in this film, and a special appearance by Officer Coolio. Yes, Coolio is in this film, and boy, does he ham it up, let me tell you.
All of you, get out!
Do what he says!
Well, bust a cap in your ass!
For your own good!
But yeah, I really like this film a lot. I've liked this film since the first time I saw it. When you watch indie films that really don't have a whole lot of budget, that really go for the gore and just try to do some sort of demonic thing, you've got my attention. Like, somehow, some way, if you're going to do all those three things, I'm going to want to see your movie. Especially if there's many kills in it, which this movie does. People die, they get transformed into demons. That's kind of how this goes. The comedy is like super silly, and it's definitely a cheesy production, but I think what they did with it on the budget that they had is like exactly what they needed to do with this film. They weren't trying to take it too seriously. They weren't trying to make it more than what it was. They knew their limitations, and it's one of those movies that you just kind of accept for its mistakes, because it is a funny film that is entertaining and has a lot of elements to it. And they really go for it as an indie. I have mad respect for Mike Mendez on this movie. It's actually a very good independent film. But I never expected a 4K release, to be honest. Even right off from the very beginning of the movie, it takes it back to 1960. And this fucking intro is amazing. The accident, the tragedy that happens in the beginning of the movie is so great. A fantastic opener for a movie. And seeing Adrian Barbeau come back to kick some ass, perfect for this movie. I get the idea that he kind of understands the goth culture a little bit, because there's some characters in here that are like, you know, they're caricatures of these different types of people, but they're also like, one of the characters in this movie is a friend of Clarissa's who is a goth girl, and she's fucking hilarious in it.
Don't worry, Riz. Your secrets are safe with me.
Guys, this is Mel. What's that short for? Morticia?
Are you a bulimic bitch?
Excuse me?
There's other characters that are just bizarre, like satanic, and like, you know, they work at Dairy Cream, you know, which is their Dairy Queen in this movie, but...
You work at fucking Dairy Cream.
Liar!
It's a really funny, tropic kind of look at sort of demonic horror films of the day. I think if you've seen those other movies like The Night of the Demons, and there's other movies in there that I think that might kind of borrow from a little bit to kind of give that vibe about it. Group of kids go into a haunted place, demons, kill, gore, fun. I mean, what more could you want? They do this in a really bizarre way, like the blood and the gore is kind of done in almost like a blacklight style, so that the blood is like almost like glowing. When you kill a demon, they bleed all these different colors that are like neon, which adds to it. You can see like the blood in their veins on their neck that they painted on, you know, with like blues and stuff. And it really kind of gives this film a really weird kind of feel to it. Plus they kind of do the like fast capture. So when people are moving, they're moving like really slow, but they speed it up. So it looks like they're coming at them all fast. And it's really silly. It really truly is, but it works on a base level. It works to do what you need to do to get the story to progress. The characters that you get to meet, the things that they say in the movie is just absolutely ridiculous. But that's why I love it. I actually think it's a really competent, well-made comedy. A lot of comedies really go for the silly, but it's not as funny as you would expect. This, I had some really loud laughs at. Yes, some of the characters, like Frijole in this movie, are very annoying, but he is also kind of charmingly stupid in some way too, because there's some funny banter between everybody, and everybody gets their just desserts in this movie anyway. It's just one of those movies that I feel like you need to watch if you are a fan of horror, you like gore, and you like those demons movies. It's not going to be on the level of that kind of budget, but it is definitely going to kind of mimic some of that and have a good time. I still think this is a step above like the lower level, you know, comedy horrors, way more competent than it probably thought it was going to be. Who knows? I think it's like an 8 out of 10. As far as an indie level score, you know, I would give Hereditary, I think I gave Hereditary like a 9.5, and I always use this movie to compare it to like indie movies. How can you compare a movie that's a 9.5 out of 10 to an independent film like this? People just can't fathom it. So in my scale, like I use indies based on other indies. I think you should watch it. If you haven't already seen it, check it out. I think it's up to view online. I don't know if it's in Blu Ray quality or not, but you can definitely pick up a 4K copy here from Synapse, and I'll post a link down below where you can pick it up. I don't get any money, and this isn't sponsored. I just got this sent to me as a gift. Thank you again, Resolution 67. So yeah, now I'm going to go over the ingredients on this just briefly, just to kind of go over what I thought of this, to let you know what's inside. So if you are interested in picking up, you can. So let's get into it. Now, the Convent has a slipcover, which I love this cover. The original cover, which I'll show right here, is okay, but I absolutely love this cover. I think this pops, and it really gets the attention of people to say, what the fuck is that movie? And if I saw this on the shelf, I would be picking it up. Now, they do have other artwork, and I'll show you some of the back here. The back is great because you got Boozer with the green eyes, which a little bit of a spoiler there, but not really. They did also commission artwork for the inside, which I do like, but I think that sometimes simple is a little bit better. This really pops with the green, and it kind of represents the sort of neon flavor that's going on in the style of this movie. But yeah, I do like this. The artwork is fantastic. On the back, you know, we got all the extras, no pictures or anything. Also, if you like the cover of the front, they have the flip side of the cover, so you can use that as well. But since I already have the slip, I'm just going to use the regular one. That's how I do it. On the inside, we get a booklet here, which I'll talk about in a second. You got the Blu-ray and the 4K here. The one with the guy is the 4K. The one with the demon is the, well, they're both demons, but you get it. The one with the like elf-looking demon is the 4K. And a little insert here that kind of goes over everything about the film, you know, a telling of the story and everything. I didn't get to actually read this yet, so I do have some extras on here that I'll go over with you guys real quick. So you get the 4K remaster. It's based off the uncut version, so just so you know. For my opinion on this, you know, it does have a little bit of grain to it, but I think that's kind of normal depending on the type of film that you use or the type of digital that you might use. Don't know exactly what they used on this. They didn't talk about it in the extras, and I didn't find it yet, but you know, it's fine. I think it looks great. There's just a couple of moments where you could see the grain a little bit. Christina pointed it out, but honestly, I think that's the best that they're going to get, you know, with this film. This is also mastered in Dolby Vision, which is HDR10 compatible, so it's the same thing. 5.1 stereo surround mix from the original. There's a 16-track audio masters. Also have the cast and crew audio commentary. The Lords of Hell audio commentary was Saul and Dickie Boy, who are the characters in the movie. They're the Satanists, which I think is really funny. I started to listen to it, and they kind of play the shtick of their characters in the commentary of it, which is just great. It's just a fun little commentary, one that you should definitely listen to. I had a good time just for the first 20 minutes of it. We get a video tour of both the Convent and Killers, the film that he did first, in the film locations that they did. They also have a vintage making of featurette, which sits down with a lot of the cast to talk about what they think of the film, what it was like on set. And it seems like they all had a really good time on it, even though some of the makeup was a little heavy. But they go into a bunch of stuff about this, you know, the makeup and like who Coolio is and what they thought of him and Adrienne Barbeau. And this little booklet here is, it's called It's Always Something with a Virgin, liner notes from Corey Dana. We also get a deleted scene, which is like a diner scene that they cut out to have a gore outtakes thing where they show extra gore that they did. Honestly, I don't think they really cut anything that bad out. It's just like seconds of like some stuff. There's a still gallery and they have the promotional trailers. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. Watching it again, it was really great. I showed it to Christina for the first time. I don't know that she was as fond of it, but she did laugh pretty hearty at some of the jokes. I wish there was a little bit more, you know, just on a personal level, but I honestly think it's perfectly fine. They do have 2 audio commentaries. One of my favorite things is the Lords. That is always great to have on a funny disc, you know, to sit back and talk about a movie and to have fun, which was what this movie's all about. Let me know if you're going to pick up a copy of this or if you got one for yourself, or if you're going to go check it out and then maybe pick up a copy later. I would love to hear what you think of this movie in the comment section down below. Yeah, that's it. Thanks again, Resolution 67, for sending me that. But other than that, thank you guys so much for coming by. And as always, long live the boys.